Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and let's start building your wealth.
Okay, hey everyone. Thank you for, joining us today. We are going to talk something important, very important actually, for real estate agents, and that is your website. Whether you're starting from scratch or just trying to spruce things up, you are in the right place. Now, I know some of you already have websites, and some of you might be a little intimidated uh, by the idea of building one. No worries, I'm going to try to break everything down into simple steps. Uh, just so you know, this webinar isn't about making you a tech wizard. It's about showing you how to create a site that works for you and brings in clients. So let's just dive in. So why every real estate agents need a strong website? Uh, why does having a great website matter? Well, let's be real. Most people, usually your buyers and sellers, they are Googling you before even thinking about picking up the phone. So much like your social media pages, your website is like your digital handshake. It if it looks outdated, or isn't very easy to use, potential clients may just move on to another, agent. So, uh, here's what a good website does for you. First off, it builds credibility. People want to work with someone that they can trust. Your site should showcase your experience, your personality, and of course, your success stories. Another one is it generates leads. A website works 24/7 even when you're not. So with the right setup, it can collect leads and increase automatically. And another one is it boosts your personal brand. So whether you work for a brokerage or independently, your website will set you apart from the competition. Now let's talk about platforms. If you don't have a website yet, don't worry, it's easier than ever to get started. And when I say it's easier, I think Gary would know about this. A couple of decades ago, if you want to build a website, you have to learn how to code yourself. And building a website from coding, it takes months to finish just one page. That's hard it was back then. There were no page builders like what we have now. It's basically all manual coding. So yeah, you if it you know if you want to build a website, now is the right time. Uh, but if you already have one, don't worry, it's easier. I'll share some quick tips to make sure it's turning or running at its best. So, what are the popular options for building a website? Of course, we have WordPress. I think it's the most popular one. It's the most customizable, but requires a little tech know-how. So there is a bit of a steep learning curve when using WordPress. But if you don't want that, if you just want to, everything is, if you just want to, like drag and drop things, we have Wix. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. Like what I said, it's a drag and drop builder, super beginner friendly. Another one is Squarespace. I'm sure you also have heard of that. What it offers are beautiful templates with easy editing tools. What else? GoDaddy actually also has a page builder. So this is actually your go-to all-in-one place if you want to build a website. You can buy your domain and your hosting from them, and then you can also build your website straight after you bought them. There are also real estate specific platforms like Playster. What I like about it is that it comes with built-in tools like MLS integration. So with platforms like WordPress and Wix, you have to install a plugin that lets you display your listings. But with Playster, you already get that for free, built in. So, if you already have a site, that's great. Consider whether it's easy to update and if you have full control over your content. If your site is slow or outdated, hard to navigate, we'll just go over to how to optimize it. So planning your website. Before we start making changes or making your new site, let's talk about strategy. Your site should have a clear purpose. This is what you're gonna ask yourself. What do I want my website to do for me? Is it to generate leads? Is it to build my brand? Or probably provide valuable information to buyers and sellers? Or is it all of the above? Once you have a clear goal, make sure we get these essential pages. Number one is the home page. This is the first impression. The first impression matters. So this is what the customer or your buyers and seller sees whenever they go to your website. So what we have to do here is keep it professional, simple, and welcoming. So uh, before we go on to the next essential pages, I'd like to show you actually how to make one, if it's okay.
Yep.
So I have here Google Sites. So this is a free tool from Google. It lets you create a website for free. Of course, the downside for this is you don't actually get your own website name. So, if, for example, if your website is GaryWilson.com, you won't get that with Google since it's free. What you're gonna get is like sites.google.com/Gary Wilson. Uh, but it actually just works just fine. You can use this as your what do you call this? A testing ground, if you suppose, for for those who want to build a website for the first time instead of buying your domain and hosting immediately. You can just make a Google site first. So and then if everything is okay, you can just go ahead and buy one. So sites.google.com, we're gonna have to start from scratch, so you know what I'm talking about. So let's start with the blank site. So this is what you're gonna get. It's just a blank page with header. But if you want to use a template, they also provide you with one. So we're gonna start with a simple template or a portfolio. So what this does is it loads a template which you can use. It's really up to you. But since we're focusing on the home page, the one where people land when they visit your site, we are gonna make one, for example, for Gary. So I'm gonna type in Gary's website here, Gary's name, and then this is the like your banner. Uh, the setup I have right now with Google Sites, it what is actually very similar to the other platforms, WordPress, Wix. They all have drag and drop features and capabilities, so you don't need to code anymore. You just have to type in, your name, what your website indicates, or for example, your testimonials, or what do you do, and we're gonna do it now. So this is your banner. I'm gonna type in Gary's name, and then if you can see the background image here, I'll just change it. I've already preloaded um, some images on my end. We are going to choose an image for the background, for example, this one. And then we are going to edit how it looks. So I'm gonna select a cover and then the themes to be simple. For example, you have already preloaded the themes here. You just have to click. So uh, depends on you really what you want. So I'm gonna go with simple. So I have right now our cover banner. So every time someone goes into our site, this is what the first thing they'll see. And What I'm gonna add next is a button. So we're gonna go to insert and then just click on button here. So the name of the button is, it's a call to action button. So what we want for people to see in our website is, a way for them to directly contact us, may it be your email or your number. Uh, it's one way to make sure that they know that they can reach you immediately. So let's just put in here, contact us. And for example, this is just an example. So we're gonna put it here. So right there. Now we already have, a banner with a call to action button. The next one, let's move on to the next page. It's the about page. So what does the about page contain? It should contain, um, your story, your experience, and what sets you apart. So because the client wants to know who you are and why they should trust you. So you should indicate something that, you know, uh, sets you apart, or just a simple description about your job. So for that, we're gonna add a session here. It's, if you can see, it's already preloaded. There is a session about, about me, but we're not gonna use that. We are going to insert a a content block. So from the right panel, you just have to click on the content block here. I'm gonna choose this one. I'm gonna upload an image of Gary and then copy this. And for example, this is what Gary wants to put in on on his website about him. So there you go. You can just, if you can see here, I'm just dragging the image to make it bigger. And you can justify the paragraphs to make it center. So we already have the About Me page. So then we can move on to the next page, which is the listing. So about the listing page, um, like what I said, with WordPress and Wix, you can download plugins. So it will let you display your listings from your local MLS. Uh, I think it's called IDX if you're familiar with that. So, but since we're teaching about making websites for beginners, let's just make something from scratch. So we're gonna go back to Google Sites, and then we're gonna insert another section, and then I'm gonna upload photos of houses for that, the sample photos for listings. So I have 3 photos here of houses. I'm gonna upload them all, and there you go. So here we are just gonna upload an address. So let's just do a filler here. And then the price. So just like that, you already have your listing. So since we're doing this manually, I just opted to place my top 3 listings for my area, for example. But if you have more than 3 listings, you can just go add a button that says view all listings, and that's gonna take you to another page that we're gonna build for another time. So just like that, you already have 3 elements to our website. We have our landing banner, we have our about me, and your listings. So what? Just it just took me a couple of minutes, maybe 10, to build that. That's how easy building website is now. It gets easier if you go on WordPress or Wix because it's really just drag and drop if you use them. With this, you have to do it manually, upload images, or select your templates. With Wix, WordPress, and MySpace, they already have built-in templates that you don't have to add new sections. So, I think I can say that again and again that this is the best time to build your website if you don't have one. Another um, another page that is essential to your website is the contact page, of course. So this is where you put in your contact number and your email form. Let me just show you what I've done just this morning. So here we already have the listings. We ended contact form. So I have your guy's phone number and his email and um, a Google form, which comes built in when you use Google Sites. The downside here when you're using Google Form and Google Site is that it doesn't really look. It's not gonna win any award if I'm being honest. Let me just hide my panel here. This is what a normal contact form looks like. So as you can see here, you can just type in your name, email, and phone number, and if you have questions underneath. This is what a normal contact form looks like. It's elegant, it's simple. But if you go to Google Sites, this is what you get. So, I mean, the functionality is still there. You can just still type in your name and email. Customers can still type in their name and email. But what I like about this is since it's Google Form, whenever people submit their contact information, it gets consolidated to a Google Sheet. So whenever you open that sheet, you can see all people who've signed up. Compare that with your contact form made from, let's say, WordPress. Whenever someone signs up here, it goes straight to your email and you have to consolidate it manually. So that's one advantage Google Form has. But let's just go back to the website that we've made. So this is the actual website. I've just added a testimonial, of course. So just added photos of people and what they say about you. It adds credibility here to your name. If people are just looking for other people to know what they experience about your service, is the best way to put it. Yep. So this is Yeah, I've done it for like what, 30 minutes. Of course, I like what I said, for beginners, there is a bit of a learning curve when using website builders, but once you get the hang of it, you know, you can just build it in one day. Uh, let's go over to the, presentation. So again, this is the minimum essential pages. So you have your home page, your about page, your listing page, and your contact page. Now, since we're talking about just, uh, website for beginners, what I did here is to make a website with just one page. So uh, here, I just only have one page, but everything is here. I have my banner, I have my about me, I have my listing, I have my testimonial, and my contact form. So for everyone who's gonna build their website for the first time, here's the way to go. Instead of building multiple pages, one for each, you have one page for your home, one page for about me, one page for listings. You don't have to do that immediately. You just have to create one page with everything in there. So this is what we get. We can actually just publish this and Google will include this in their SEO. So every time people search for Gary Wilson, for example, this website will come up immediately since it's Google that we're talking about. So did I pay for something? No. But did I have my own website? Yes. So this is just how easy it is. If you really want to customize or make it your own, that's where we're gonna, start paying for something. But this is what Google site can provide you. I think Wix also provides a free website, but the downside is that they have ads, and you cannot control the ad that they're gonna play on your website. But with Google site, they have no ad on your website. Just the downside is you don't have to get your own domain name. So your website will look like something like this: sites.google.com, real estate with Gary Wilson or something. So it's not real estate with GaryWilson.com. It has Google on it. But then
Hmm.
again, this is free. This is something those who haven't got a website yet can try before buying for something. All right. So the next is before we go to the next step, do you have any questions regarding what we just did?
Yeah, there's a couple questions. So Mark Phillips wanted to know, um, with this platform, can you embed a like a video link on a page? Like it's a click here to watch this, and does it have that capability?
Yep. We we have that. For example, here we have a button. I can just link this to any video or any link that I want. If you want
Okay.
to link this to your Google page, you can do that. Or to your YouTube page, you can do that as well.
And also, I guess all of us, most of us, with the brokerages that we're with, there's the brokerage, has its own main website. Remax, Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, of course, CXP, and they give the agents their own pages, just like you were describing before with Google. You'll have like an EXP website slash Gary Wilson, but they give us a hyperlink that we can copy and put on our own personal vanity page for searching for properties. So when that get in touch button there, that's we could put that on every page, but on a page for we have listings, we could put that in there and call it, search listings, right? I guess, and then behind it would be a link to the uh the search capability that we have on our brokerage's website. I don't know if I'm making sense, but um I guess we have that capability too, right?
That's right. You
With
can
the
just
Google.
link
Okay.
you can just link your brokerage page to your own personal page if you want that.
Hmm.
So, you still have to get your personal page, but your content, what if you have content that you want people to see, you can just link it through buttons and text links, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
So there's the basic website. Do we have to um tell it we want a button there, and then we in the button we can make a point anywhere we want, I guess, right?
Yep, that's right. So,
Okay.
for example, on this site, you can just add a button, as you can see here,
Gotcha.
and
Okay.
then name the button, for example, just your button, and then your link to whatever page you want it to go.
Okay.
So, yeah, we can
Yeah,
also
this
do
is
that through text and
yeah.
other stuff.
This is way easier than what we used to have to do.
It
So
really is.
yeah. Hey
Like what
guys,
I
since
said a couple of
yeah.
decades ago, you have to do this manually by coding, but now you
Mhm.
just have to click and then type, and that's it.
Yeah. Hey guys, since Ryan's here, we're going through this. Is there anything that you've been trying to figure out and would like to know how to do when it comes to building a website, adding pages, putting in links to other places like listings, and if you want to, if there's something you want to learn how to do, now's the time to speak up. Um, I'm just grateful that technology's even just in the last several years has gotten easier. So um, so take your time and you can raise your hand or type in your questions there. Um, Chitra's asking about what about brokerage and company logo. So Ryan, the rules have been kind of muddied in the last year or two. But
Yep.
typically, if we're a real estate agent and we're with, EXP, Coldwell Banker, what have you, somewhere on our site we have to say that. In some states, the broker's name has to be at least as big, if not bigger, than our name. Other states,
Yes.
it could be anything. So,
Yep. I understand what you mean, Gary. For example, this background page that we have right now,
hmm.
you can customize this to include your logo. So it says, EXP or something at the back of this
Mhm.
house, for example. And the way to do that is with Canva. It's the easiest
Mhm.
way to do it. So you just have to grab this picture and then add your logo on it and then export it to your website. So that's one way
Okay.
to do it. You can also add your logos on this page itself. So here, for example, you can add your logo here
Okay.
on the Google site, and when you publish your website, it will show it automatically.
Awesome.
So again, building logos and building background images you can do on Canva easily.
Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control. You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay? Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay? The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay? One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay? One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You've got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link, set up a call. And by the way, I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live. Okay. And guys, for all of you who are at EXP, you now have a free Canva account at EXP. So um, pretty awesome stuff. Hey, Katie Bartel, Katie, if you want to unmute yourself, feel free to go ahead and you can just ask directly if you want your
Yeah,
question.
I was just gonna see if there's any, because I think I have katiebartel.com. Is there any like pro and con of using one of these Google easy to build websites that doesn't necessarily have your own domain? Like, do you think it adds more legitimacy to have your own domain and use like Squarespace or something like that?
Yes, of course, it's better to have your own domain.
Okay.
It just says that you're more serious about building your website because you have your own instead of using free page builders, for example, like Google. So I agree with you. It's more professional. Yes.
Okay.
We are just trying this out for those who doesn't have any clue on how to make websites yet. But I think Google offers us to buy our own domain. So if you really want to stick with Google, you can just go and buy this domain, and the sites.google.com will disappear, and just it will create your own domain name. For example, GaryWilson.com. But if you already have your own domain, that's better actually.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Or I think we're caught up on questions there.
I have a comment there, guys.
Oh, hey, Rob.
For Katie's question, I don't. This might be over people's head a little bit, but I know that Ryan will understand what I'm saying. You can point the domain that you own, yourname.com. You can point that domain to any website that you want it to. Meaning you go into your wherever you've registered your domain URL from, and somebody types in that website.com, it could actually load and link to any website that you want it to that you would also own. So if you had this free Google website and that you didn't want to pay for a website and what have you, you could still advertise your name.com. And when people type it in, it could load this other, Wix site or Google site or whatever site platform, that if you still wanted it to appear professional when you're advertising it, you can do that. If you don't really understand what I mean, I can explain a little further. But are you familiar with what I mean, Shirley? Right, Ryan?
That's right.
Yeah. For
I
so I
would,
mean, for you, go ahead.
sorry, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to add, Rob. So that's basically email forwarding. What the advantage of that is that you can have a domain and route it to another website. The disadvantage is Google does not rank or index that domain.
True.
So
Very true.
basically, if your goal is to index on Google, and I would highly recommend for every agent to put in the effort to index on Google, then you want to get your original domain to be the main domain and not the forwarding domain. Like, for example,
Absolutely.
even with our KV Core, we are as many blogs as they encourage us to make, we cannot rank ourselves because if we're doing is masking the name dot last name at exprealty.com, we're still feeding exp's domain, we're not feeding our own. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes. Very good, Anna. Yes, correct. And you ideally, when I was taught years ago about this, you use your laptop screen or your desktop screen, and the entire screen when you're looking at it, you consider it to be like the front page of the newspaper. And so when you fold the newspaper in half, that bottom edge of your screen would be the bottom edge of the newspaper. And the terminology that I was instructed to consider was you always want your search result to be above the fold, meaning above that, top fold of when you fold the newspaper in half. So if somebody sits down and they're looking for real estate in Orlando or real estate in Tucson or real estate in Clearwater or, Boise or wherever you're at, you want to be in the top searches. You want to be above the fold. You want to be in at least the first top 10, if not the first top 3 or 4. That's not going to happen unless you do have what Gary was referring to as the vanity site, owning that site, and it's uniquely not on a forwarded, platform like this. Um, so from a starter perspective, absolutely, it's important that you have a presence. Get online and do that, but you want to grow into, capturing all of the momentum that you can, capturing all of the marketing that you can, and have your own website initially. But I've said it a lot this year, done is better than perfect. So get something up there. Have your website, have your website, whatever you have it on, have it up there to if you grow into it later. But you know,
That's right. So I think what Rob and Anna was trying to specify is that if you have your own website, for example, and if you type in the name of, for example, your website or something, your name on Google, it should come up first, for example, on the result like this. But if you have forwarding, it may not be the first one on the result. So I think what Rob is trying to say is that we want to be the first one on the search result whenever people type us in.
yeah,
But
and then
if you,
whether they know your name or not, if they're just searching real estate in Charlotte, it'd be
yes,
great if Gary's name, if he's a local agent, it would be great if he came up in the first, the first search result.
that's
So
correct.
that's the goal. That's
Yep.
another
And
reason why. I mean, I own robparrott.com too, but I'm actually maintaining my site. But nowhere in the .com name does it say real estate or realtor or property or home or anything like that. So you have to figure out the keywords. It probably would be better to say something about the city that you're in or something about real estate in the .com as well. That said, you can also point yourname.com to that website that you advertise as well. But for the niche that you're in, whether it be entertainment or real estate or whatever, marketing or makeup or health and wellness or whatever, it'd be good to have something about that name maybe in the name of the site too, because we all are small fish at the moment. It helps it helps index the website with that keywords.
that's right. Good point, Rob. So yep, I guess what we wanted to say is that your name or your website's name will less likely to be on top if you're pointing it to another website. So it's easier, you know, if you have your own website and just build that um, site your own instead of pointing it, it yields better result on the search engines.
And then you consider that a lot of people looking aren't going to know who you are. They aren't going to know your name. They know the city and they know they're looking for real estate, but they don't know who John Doe is. So they sit down and just search without your name. They just search. They don't search EXP. They don't search Keller Williams. They don't search whatever. They just search real estate or new homes or new construction or foreclosure or whatever they're searching, but they're searching something to do with real estate in the city. So all of those keywords, could help you with your indexing. But if you did have something, whatever, Rob buys houses, Rob sells Tampa, Rob whatever, that kind of stuff helps people find me because they don't know who I am. They don't know my name
Yep, very good points, Rob. Thank
yet.
you.
I was like, yet until you're a rock star, they don't know your name.
Okay, good stuff. Okay, guys, if you have questions, or again, if you want to see something, if you want Ryan to create something here on the spot, you know, and something you're looking to try to do yourself and see how it works, now's the time to do it. You know, so actually, let's do a quick poll. If you already have your own website, just type in I do in the chat box. I want to get a feeling for how many people actually do have their own website. And if you don't have one, just type in I don't. There's no wrong answer. We're just trying to figure out, the percentage, how many people do, how many people don't. And if you don't, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this right here on the spot. So,
So
you know,
Gary, I wanna just clarify. So
Yeah.
like if we bought our domain name, and we have it forwarding to the EXP vanity site, then is that what you're referring to? Or are you referring to like your own created site, kind of like what he did, where you're kind of creating your own thing? You're not really tied into the main brokerage.
yeah, this should be separate from the brokerage site that we all get, but the two should be connected together. So in other words, on your vanity site, Chastine, you want to give your followers the ability to search for properties. So you would give them the link from your EXP page that gives them the search capability where it goes into the MLS and they type in, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and, Vancouver, for example. That should definitely be on your vanity site, right? Um, and so like I have both. So you look at mine, they both point back and forth for different reasons. I have links from the EXP page to mine, and I have links from mine back to EXP. We actually have multiple sites. So and once you get it up and running, if all you did was the basic simple what we call keywords and key phrases. So for like you would definitely use, Vancouver, Washington, Portland, Oregon, things like that. Real estate. So there's a lot of commonality terms that we would all have in common. Real estate, homes, find like phrases that people would type in. So think about what people type into Google when they're looking for something related to real estate. Whatever you think they would type in, you should put that on your site, in your keywords and key phrases. In fact, guys, I'll give you a big tip. You can Google the quote unquote the phrase, the 30 top search terms used for people looking at real estate. 30 top search terms for people looking at real estate, and Google will give you the results. And you just put that right in your. Ryan, do you know on these platforms like this, do we have access to I guess we do through our description, the title, subtitle, those are the areas we can put in the keywords and key phrases, right?
That's correct, Gary.
Okay. Yeah. And it's really not, guys, I've done it. It's not that hard. I mean, just knowing where to go and where to do it, that's the trick. So what Ryan's showing you here is a really quick, easy way I mean, I haven't seen too many sites that are this user friendly.
Yep.
They
So
just
for
basically,
example,
yeah.
your heading, for example, 'Your heading, for example, your 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 heading, for example, you can just tag them with heading
Mhm.
here, and that makes it easier for Google to um, to search for keywords under your website. So if you have listings, for example, the
Mhm.
listings page that we made, let me just check here. This one. So if we go on and edit this for your city, for example, and then make it a heading instead of normal text. As you can see here, it's just normal text for now.
Mhm.
Your page builder website have the option to tag them as, heading, subheading. So we're gonna just gonna go to and set it to heading, and that makes it easier for Google to notify people that, oh, this website has a listing for Virginia. So whenever
Yeah.
people search for the keyword for listings for Virginia, it's most likely that this page will come up. And the
Yeah.
same goes for the descriptions on your listings as well. For example, the addresses, tag them as heading, uh, and yeah, that
Mhm.
will improve your SEO basically.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
I may add, Gary, having your own blog improves your SEO ranking as well.
Mhm.
Uh, you just have it doesn't have to be a long one. You just have to create, for example, something that you're passionate about, giving tips on home buying, giving tips on, inspection or something. If
Mhm.
you consistently do it with blogs, it will greatly improve your search SEO because all of the words you're typing in, Google includes that in the search bar or in the search
Mhm.
whenever people are searching for keywords. Because the more the words you put in on your website, the more Google will rank you. So creating your own blog helps, but it's just optional. I understand that not everyone has time to write their own blog, but if you do have, make one for your website as well.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna give you a really big hint here and tip. We used to write our own blogs, but we haven't done that for a couple of years now because on our website, the GIA team website, right? The team website, under AI tools, if it's the last tab, the most recent tab we created about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. In there are 10 different um, AI tools that you can use. Of course, ChatGPT is one of them. There's even scripts we gave you for ChatGPT, but back on the tools, one of them, it says right in the description, if you click on it, creating blogs, and it's free. So you can use AI bot from our the team website to create a blog for you. Now, it doesn't mean you're 100% off the hook. What we learned is, you find out what people want to read about in real estate. You can Google that, like 50 top search terms for real estate home buyers or whatever, something like that. It'll give it to you. Then you tell it, write a blog that answers this question, but you still have to proofread it. It's not that it's got bad spelling and grammar. It's just that the AI tools are not as smart as you and I. They're simply looking for data to provide you what you asked it. It's not really looking at how long the data's been out there, what year the data was entered. I mean, it could be grabbing data from 2005, and you want to make sure you catch that. So you can use the AI tool to create a blog for you. Do it once a week. Do the proofreading. I mean, you might be talking a half hour a week or something. I don't know, max, and you've got yourself a blog. And it's one of the easiest ways to build up SEO. And that should be on your new page. You should have a blog page and put it in there. Um, and you can use virtual assistants to do this stuff too. Ryan is in the Philippines, right? He's one of the best people I've ever met, and I'm just grateful that he's here and doing so much for the team. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. So Juan and Gabby both said they don't have pages. So if you guys want to, now Ryan works for the company, My Investor Services. He doesn't actually work for me directly. I don't pay him. The company pays him. But what I will do if you already have a site, this you won't qualify. If you do not have a site yet and you think you really need help, I'll foot the bill and pay for Ryan to help you get your own vanity site set up if you'd like to do that. So far that's Juwan and Gabby, but I mean that goes to anybody out there on the team.
Hey,
We really
Gary.
want you to. Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah. So,
Hey, Gary,
uh,
it's Dutch. Is
hey,
my
Dutch.
hand not up? My hand
No, yeah,
up?
I know. I was getting to you're. I was trying to
Oh,
make. I was giving you some exercise, Dutch.
oh yeah.
No, go ahead, Dutch. I'm just playing
I
with you.
have a specific. I got in trouble. I need
Mhm.
help.
Okay.
I have a domain name that I bought from GoDaddy,
Mhm.
and I bought a lifetime site. Lifetime.
Mhm.
Didn't think it was their lifetime. I thought it was my lifetime site from ibrave.com. And they closed all of their stuff November of 2024. Now my domain name, which is askdutch.com, is parked at iBrave, which is closing down or closed down. And I had moved it from GoDaddy. How can I get that back to, and this is what I would ask Ryan, is how can I get that domain name back under my control so that I can use it at a server to run, as Rob suggested, several different domain names or variations off of that, plus my email address, go to Dutch at askdutch.com, so forth. That's what I've been trying to do. I thought iBrave was going to be the place, but it wasn't. Any
Right.
suggestions?
So yeah, I've actually just went into your website, askdutch.com, and it's currently available. So that means no one owns it.
Yeah, I'm supposed to own it.
Yeah,
It
but
was
GoDaddy,
parked at iBrave.
yep,
I know GoDaddy is auctioning it off for
yeah.
$377. But at any rate, tell me what to do, Ryan. I need to get that set up at a place, at a server where I can
Right.
serve off of it.
Yep. So, first of all, you need to buy back your domain before we can point it to the server that you own.
Or are you telling me that iBrave turned it loose? Because that's where it was
No,
registered.
currently, AskDutch.com is registered under GoDaddy. It's their, like what you said, they're auctioning it. So nobody owns it as of today. You need to buy it back. And
Okay.
once you buy it back or once you own it, we can then point it to the website or to the domain that you want, to the hosting that you want.
Well, I had bought it with GoDaddy, so I don't quite understand because GoDaddy I paid GoDaddy for it once already.
Right. So, if you already own this or you're saying that you paid GoDaddy for this domain, you should
I
have a
did.
control panel and access to the control panel to AskDutch.com.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll go to GoDaddy and
right.
see if it reverted back to them.
Yep. So
Um,
once we have your the login access to your control panel, we can then have it point to any website that you want.
do you have a favorite place to register that to as a
We
server?
GoDaddy actually offers hosting plans as well,
Yeah, they're
since
expensive.
since they are very
Yeah.
what else? Uh Bluehost, I
We
think it's one.
we use Ionos, Dutch
Yep.
IONOS.
INIOS. All right. Right.
IONOS. Ionos.
IONOS.
Yeah. We used to use GoDaddy. In fact, I still have some sites on GoDaddy that I keep because we may eventually use them or they're probably worth some money. Like I've got Hampton Roads Real Estate Guide.com. And guys, that's a great if you search your area, see if you know San Antonio Real Estate Guide is available in your area or Vancouver, Washington, real estate guide, something like that. Remember when real estate guides in paper form were all over the place? All I did is I realized when things were going online, I just bought those, a couple of them. And now some of them are saying they're worth several $1,000s, but you never know. But I would do that. And Michael McGrand's asking, can we work with Lofty/EXP website setups? Um, I don't know that I had somebody else do my Ryan way back 5 years ago, almost 5 years when I joined. Have you done that? I don't think you've done that with EXP, right?
No, not yet.
Okay. Um, I tell you what, Mike McGrand, there used to be somebody, probably several people at EXP. Um, I tell you what you do, Mike. Go to Workplace, EXP Workplace, and you can search for groups. There's a couple of groups that are tech groups, and they're usually all of us agents getting together and pitching in and helping each other out. There might be somebody there that can help you get that set up. Um, I don't mind sharing Ryan in that regard because I want to help you get a site set up. You actually already have your EXP site. It's already there. You don't have to create it. What you want to do is just modify it, you know, customize it for yourself. So I would go to look for tech support on the EXP Workplace. Workplace. I'm sorry. See what you can get there. And if you're still stuck and need help, just let me know. And maybe Ryan can figure it out pretty easily because that's something. If Ryan knows how to do that, learn how to do that, as we bring people on, we can help them get set up more quickly and easily. Because I know when we came on board, I mean, anybody here will probably testify. There was, you know, an avalanche of stuff coming at you, and it could take a while. Though Chastine, we all have gone through that. Um, Chastine, did you build out your own EXP website page, or did you have somebody do that for you?
No, I did like both ways, right? So when I first came on to EXP, they have some people in, workplace chats and things like that that will do the initial setup and, of all the different things. They don't do blogs, so to speak, but, like the initial setup, making sure that your maps are working, you're putting your locations in there, you have your templates set up, it's linking correctly. And so I paid somebody to do that. It's like maybe $300, 250 or something. The problem is of course, EXP is always, wanting to improve. So sometimes when they do that, it messes up things that you've done on the back end. So then I paid for another coach within EXP. You can watch their videos and do some things on your own, in which, I had my blessed husband do some of it. And he was fine. We have the minimum items put on that, but then now I'm using Lofty, right? So now I have Lofty set up, and I have my assistant, working with Lofty to get that set up. So I have two different sites. Neither one of them are, I guess, but this gentleman is saying you should have it, unless I'm not understanding correctly, because you're saying that we should really just get a site that we completely control, not run through a third party. Is that correct? Like Lofty or EXP?
Correct. Yeah, you definitely want your EXP one and or Lofty, but remember that's basically the root is EXP, and you're simply a page on that master overall web presence. But when you own your own, you build your own ShastineBradley.com. The root is you and your name. So you have you get much more bang for your buck when it comes to SEO, search engine optimization, right? So yeah, you definitely want to have it. Plus, it's transportable. Like you can, it's just forever as long as you keep it current. It's yours forever, no matter you. Even if you build your own brokerage or whatever, or you decide to branch off into investing or add another, like so many people are doing these days, is you might have your own superpower that you want to promote and share with others.
So
Like
would one concern be the fact that, how sometimes certain companies that set up or that you can build these sites on sometimes dissolve or change out or have an issue, right? So is it just staying with, like, the originals or something? I mean, how do you know that that wouldn't happen with some of the, some of the different programs that you use?
Well, I would definitely use one of the big, like GoDaddy. I know they're getting more expensive, but they're not going anywhere. And personally, it's called Ionos again, Ionos. It's, if you Google it, it's one of the top ranked ones. Ryan's done a lot with them. We've bought extra security. If you remember last year, we were getting hit left and right. Everybody was in the United States. It was just this constant web attacks. And thankfully, we don't have any personal information on our site at all. I don't know why they were coming after us, but they were. So we had to build new firewalls, and we paid for additional software through Ionis, and we haven't had a single problem since. Been rock
So
solid.
what is your site cost to maintain then?
It's actually very inexpensive. I don't know off the top of my head, but I think I'm paying like $11 a month or something, you know?
Oh, okay.
And then I pay like an annual thing. It's like $100 once a year, but every month it's like $11. And then the extra malware was a separate third-party vendor that Ionis recommended. We pay them 25 a month, and that's really it. And you really don't need malware protection in the beginning, but when you get big enough and you start getting a lot of visitors and just you show up in all the rankings, all of a sudden you become a target. So you're going to want to eventually you want to pay for third-party malware protection because they can sure mess you up, you know.
Okay.
And they make it look so scary. That's the thing. On Google, boy, Google will scare the daylights out of you. If they think you have malware, man, Google will make you feel like you're going to prison. You know,
Yeah,
they're so
even if you
threatening.
don't forward correctly, or because I learned
Yeah.
that, like if you because I thought I had it set up correctly from my because I have GoDaddy for all of my domains,
Mhm.
and like my clients were like getting the warning, this could be a,
Oh yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, and they're like, and luckily they were telling me because we don't see it because it saves in our cookies and it looks different than somebody else's computer is how I was told.
Yes.
So anyway, I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
just not even in my wheelhouse. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Oh, and on different search engines too. Like you'll look one way on Google and look a different way on Safari or Microsoft Edge. So um, it's just crazy
right,
how yeah. Um,
right. Yeah. So I was going to ask, there is a company out there that other brokerages use that allows you to, it's like a one time you pay for it and it's forever yours. Is it called? It's really stupid expensive, but man, do they have it dialed in with whether you're on a phone or a computer. It just shows and syncs so nicely. I think it's
yeah.
called, I'll get it here in a second. But anyway,
Hmm.
but again, it's through another third party. It's just not your own. The only, yeah, the thought of me having to go back and keep things updated, because they say with websites, you need to keep them alive, which means you need to be putting things on them, running them, and, kind of making it,
Yeah.
look like it's just, that's something else. I'm just like, oh my Lord, that's
Yeah.
overwhelming to me.
Yeah. Just use one of the new AI bots and clone yourself. Actually, all kidding aside, we're actually doing that right now. Ryan's
That's
helping me
funny.
build a now site avatar that's going to be able to create, content automatically with me, the avatar of me actually, reading, whatever recent real estate updates from the government or from NAR or from what have you. We're starting there, and then eventually we're going to build it up to where it's actually people will be talking to the avatar, of me, be based on content from our website. So it's just amazing. But hey, Lisa, if you're still there, I saw your hand was up a moment ago. Lisa Sears.
I just wanted to clarify something
Oh,
because this is all, it's not my forte. I have my own domain, which is lisasearsrealestate.com, and then I point it through my EXP stuff, and it costs $11 a month. So you're saying that I should do something different that's not connected to EXP?
no. You're doing exactly perfectly right. So
Okay.
uh, it's almost like what Shastin was just saying on your site. lisasearsrealestate.com. In order to get any kind of good search results, you have to keep it relevant and put stuff out there like you know your listings, sales. But one thing you can always do is just copy us, copy the team stuff. I mean, that's really why we did. None of this was really created to promote me. It doesn't make sense to promote me. What makes sense is for me to promote you. You know, so a lot of our stuff we either paid for or built for you guys to use. Like all the social media stuff, just share it on Facebook. But also, so on your vanity site, you should have links to your Facebook page, LinkedIn page, YouTube channel. They're easy to do because those sites give you those links, those hot buttons, and you just embed them. Where Ryan showed you, click embed, you paste in the link for LinkedIn and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and X and YouTube and all that. That'll help you stay current.
I wouldn't mind having Ryan just take a look at what's going on mine. I did have the luxury division do an upgrade, and then I just recently got an update that I need to contact them because there's a conflict with KV Core. Now we have to choose a different video and this and that. So I would like to just hone it in, with EXP Luxury, but have Ryan then take a look at it from a different perspective as to what's going to benefit me the most, not how they upgrade the websites.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, if you guys want to, I'm probably really going, but Ryan might shoot me, but I'm willing to commit and pay for some of Ryan's time to help you guys because it just goes. I mean, I just said it perfectly. What we're doing is really for you. It's not really for me. It's for you. So we can connect with Ryan. He's got a link. You can schedule time with him on Zoom, and I think it was Juan and Gabby, and uh, for the news sites, and then was Mike McGrand wanted help with getting his EXP set up. So Ryan, if you could learn that the EXP site, customization, you can use my account, go into my account to play around with and learn it. Then we'll have something we can help the new folks coming on board get them up and running faster, which is really, I mean, that's the rising tide lifts all ships, right? So the more we can help you guys, the more we're living true to our culture and our team mission. So,
Sure.
and Ryan, it will just take no more new projects after we get now side up and accelerate going. I don't mind at all if you help folks out on the team.
All right,
So
Gary.
yeah. And let's see, Dutch just got his hand up, and then but Anna had a question first. I wouldn't recommend copying, to be honest. Google flags and once promote authentic. Oh, that's a good point, Anna. Thank you. So if if you're that's a good point. On your social media, it's good to copy. But on your websites, I'd say if you want to copy the pages we have, that kind of thing, um, you can do that, but the content should be unique. The content should always reflect you. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Content should reflect you with the format. If you just want to copy what we're doing on the websites, feel free. So, yep. Thanks, Anna. Okay, Dutch, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I just wanted my name put in there too because I don't have a site.
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll help you get a basic one set up
I
and
need.
get it
I'm
connected.
tangled up in this iBrave stuff. I think it was Lisa mentioned something about the lifetime support. I mean the lifetime it's not sponsoring. It's where you hang your domain name and you wind it. It was ended up being a scam. I used it tried to use it for about 2 years, but iBrave has gone out of business and they're just a casino site now. So it was a mess. So I need to get it set up somewhere. And if I have to go back to GoDaddy, I guess I will. But I'm going to try this INS that you sent.
Okay.
We'll try that first.
Yeah.
Thank you. very much.
You're welcome. What Ionis is great customer support. Ryan's been working with them for a couple of years now. They're really responsive. I will tell you, Ionis is going to be a little more techy than like GoDaddy. GoDaddy is more consumer oriented, helping, the average person. Ionis, this is my opinion, looks to me to be more techy, you know. So just keep that in mind if anybody wants to use Ionis. I mean, they'll help you, but it's like they assume you already have some level of experience, So would you agree, Ryan? Ionis is probably a little more uh, geared towards people with some tech
Yep,
background or
actually do.
knowledge. Okay.
Plus their customer support is on point. The you actually get to talk to someone. With GoDaddy, I haven't had the experience of talking to someone immediately. So if that's one thing you consider, yeah, go ahead with Ionos.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
do-
Um, Lisa's, okay. I saw the background on your screen now, Lisa. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's more businessy. Look, it's real estate, you know?
I took that in Waikiki. We were walking down to wait for it to get dark enough for the fireworks because once a week they have fireworks there at Hilton Hawaiian.
Hmm.
So yeah, but that picture actually turned out so well that I every now and then I just have to put it up.
Okay. Nice. Um, okay. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Well, I've got somebody I want to, Henry, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself, guys. I just want to showcase Henry Perez for a minute. Remember last month, about a month ago, we gave the unofficial trophy award to Juan Bond about her client. She just closed a $880,000 transaction on. She helped him sell his 12-unit building, and he drove her absolutely batty. And he drove me batty too, and I'm not even in the transaction, but he drove us all batty for several months. Well, Henry's got a similar one. This guy, I mean, no joking aside, Henry, if I don't know if your camera's on, but I think Henry actually started losing hair and started drinking because of this guy. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I'm not
But
sure. I think I'm not joining as a panelist, but it's fine.
yeah, but you got one then across the finish line. I mean, it was so tell everybody. I just want everybody to hear a little bit about what that was like. And at the end, remember you told me what you actually did when you went to pick him up that day to take him to closing.
Yeah,
I'll tell
yeah.
people that too. I just wanted to hear
Okay,
this.
okay. So I guess first and foremost, thank you. I feel like I just got I got a gold medal. And you always got to say thank you, God, like those speeches. So it's
Hmm.
just thank the man upstairs. Thank you, Gary, for always being there. And I actually co-listed this with someone who's been in the business for about 30 years. So just combined, it's about 60 years. And he even stated like, hey, I've never experienced anything like this. It was a roller coaster to not forget ever. It was just really inconsistent. We postponed about two closings. He canceled maybe four, but on paper it was two. Everyone pretty much is not even in good terms right now, even with the lawyers and so on and so forth, because it's just been all over the place. I think I don't want to get too into it, but it was just something that I would never forget and always take with me, if that makes sense. But Gary, you were always there, man. Anytime I shot you a text, I didn't have to do a strategy call, which is pretty cool because sometimes I know you're busy and you have a whole team and a business and all of that. So first and foremost, just thank you for just even calling back. And I couldn't do the link in schedule. I needed a call. I needed to talk to someone because there were just things that was over my head. We did finally close 6 months later. So I was in contract since November. We
Mm.
did an over asking, which was awesome, but then there was a buyer. The buyer wasn't the buyer. Found out he's a type A as well. A lot of things just came out after the fact. And then I guess the last conversations on Friday, he goes, "Hey, I just want to tell you guys this was very emotional, but the reason why it was like this because I haven't been taking my medication."
Mm.
And I said, I wish you would have told me this 3 months ago. You know what I mean? But it
Yeah.
closed. It definitely closed. But there was a lot of hands on. It was a lot of hands. But I learned a lot. But I'm just super thankful in the process. And if whoever's on here, it's not a pitch. It is so not a pitch. Gary is true to his word, and he's an amazing human being. And if you guys are thinking about being on a team, this is the team. Even though the team is not doesn't make you, you still need to work your tail off. But definitely the support is here, you know, and that was a free pitch, Gary.
Hey, thanks. So I'll give you the 20 bucks next time I see you, you know?
There you go. There
No,
you
just
go.
kidding. Well,
There you
well,
go.
one thing that was really cool, Henry, is I mean, kudos to you for keeping a cool head and not letting this guy get to you because I know I'm guilty of that in the past. Some people just have my magic button, but
Yeah.
you never lost your cool. But you did something really nice for the guy the morning of the closing. You first off, you went and picked him up, right?
Oh,
To go to the closing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I did. I also, you're right. So we paid for the moving. We did. I did that, but also because he wasn't going to leave. So it's like less than 24 hours, and the buyer was coming. So we paid for the moving, like rush moving, and we pulled that together. And then something told me when I was walking, because I'm telling you, after this transaction, I got closer to the man upstairs, and it was like, "Hey, call him," and I called him, and I just said the first thing was funny. I thought of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I said, "I come in peace." And that kind of just
Mhm.
broke the ice. And he just started laughing. And I said, "Hey, do you think you might need a ride for tomorrow?" And he said, "You know what? I do," which was one of the best things that I think I could have offered. And then he wanted like went to Dunkin' Donuts, a little latte and bagel, but that just set the tone for the morning. It was just really easy. And yeah, the rest was history, as they say.
Yeah. Well, I think that doing that, I mean, you really let you came from a mindset of peace
Correct.
and contribution and really love. I mean, I'm not trying to get melodramatic here. I'm just telling you guys the fact here is,
Yeah.
it's like Martin Luther King said perfectly. Hate can't conquer hate, and darkness can't
Correct.
conquer darkness. So Henry came in with love, and everybody was angry. I'm telling you, because I was part of some of those conversations. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is.
Yeah.
And I kept telling Henry, look, you're getting a full blown education here in a few short months, and from here on out, you're. I told him guys, Henry. I said, Henry, you're going to have a transaction one of these days. Everything's going to be perfectly smooth, and you're going to be looking for something to be wrong with that transaction because you're used to it. But buying the guy donuts, I mean, the old saying, kill him with kindness. And
Right.
it takes a real big heart to do that. And at the end of the day, if you think about the end game, what are we ultimately looking to accomplish? And it's to let the seller help the seller sell and the buyer buy. And that's exactly what happened. And it all came down to the final moment when Henry picked this guy up, offered to pick him up, and did pick him up and got him donuts and coffee on the way to closing. You know,
Yeah.
so that's what it took. You know. So, any case, any questions for Henry? Yeah, yeah.
Thanks.
How about a
Congratulations,
pat?
Harry. Thank
Thank
you
you
for that.
again. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
how about a big pat on the back or congratulations for Henry? While you're at it, if you guys could please say thank you to Ryan, because remember Ryan is not an agent. He's an employee, and he normally works our hours. He's literally 12 hours away, so he's working at night when we're awake, and you know, he's sleeping. I don't know what I haven't figured it out. It sounds like algebra to me, but quite frankly, I don't know how he does it. But he did this of his kind of his own heart. So I appreciate you, Ryan, for doing this, man.
Thank you,
Thank you,
And
Ryan.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
guys.
yeah, and what we'll do, guys, is
Thank you, Ryan.
yeah, if so, like Dutch, Mike, Gabby, Juan, if any of you, if you do need help, like with any of the EXP stuff or your own site, just ask. Shoot me an email. I'll connect you with Ryan, and I'll make sure we got you covered. The main thing is I want to have everybody here up and running with their own site. There's a lot to be we have a lot to accomplish, and if we can make it easier for you, I'm all for it. I really the main thing right now this year, guys, is using Funnel Pilot, right? Using Go High Level if you're in my level one, and then we're got a big push going on for new construction. I just had an excellent conversation with Anna this morning. And then Modupe, Jess Martin. We have a teacher coming in on the 21st to talk about new construction. Mo's going to see if we can get a lender she knows that has a bridge loan for people building new homes that already have a home. We're going to have that, and then just there's a lot coming our way when it comes to new construction, and I want you to be part of it because I know from a lot of years' experience, a lot of gray hair, when the volume is low, or yes, we have a recession, which I believe we will have a recession. I know I've been saying it for 3 years now, but mathematically speaking, we're going to have one. But it's nothing to worry about because the last recession, as bad as it was, guys, volume dropped 25%. That means 75% of the business was still going, and that was at its peak, right? So don't ever give up. Hang in there. But what I'm getting at is investors give you a stable, ready, steady kind of an income. Sometimes it's not a lot of fun work with investors, but they're always there. New construction is what we generally go to. The industry, politicians, government, banks, everybody goes to new construction to pull us out or pull us through. I suggest you get to be a part of it now. Don't wait. Now's the time, So any questions on that? Okay. Can I get any amens from the core section on working with new construction?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And by the way, you bring enough buyers to these local builders, they're gonna ask you if you can be their go-to person. I promise you. You're not gonna get that with Horton and Ryan, and they're huge. They're all over. They're national. They've already got their own inside sales teams and marketing departments and all that. But the smaller builders, local builders, sub-regional size builders, they don't have budgets for that kind of stuff, right? You can really, really help them. Just bring in 2, 3 buyers in a row. Guarantee you've got yourself a builder for as long as you both are in business, So keep that in mind, Yep. In fact, Shastine, you've gotten in with 1 or 2 builders, right? Out in Vancouver and the Portland area. She might not still be there. But I think she got in with one of the builders out there just by doing the things we're talking about. So, okay, guys, if there's no more questions, I appreciate you participating tonight. Remember, you can invite people to any class. Next week, I'll be going over analyzing investment properties. We're going to start with the basics. How do you determine cash flow, net operating income, cap rate, and cash on cash return? Just the basics. And then I might bring somebody in May or June to do a little bit more advanced stuff in case you have people who are looking to buy, 5 units and above. But I want to start always with the basics first. We're going to do that next week. And then, hang on, I'll just tell you what's coming up. That's next week. On the 14th is Jim Whiteside's. 21st, I think that is when Jess's person's coming in. I think that's the 21st. Aziel is his name. And then, and Christian Petroza, he's in our downline. On the 28th, he's going to show you what he does with ReallyFlow. He cut out the letter. He just goes right to the phone call. He has a VA doing it for him, and he's bringing a regular business. He told me the last time we met, he said he's going to keep going with the investors because it's getting to the point where they're bringing him enough repeat business that he can see himself not having to do the grind anymore for traditional clients. So he's living the model, I mean, I'm not saying you should follow him exactly, although some of you probably should. But what I'm suggesting is listen to what he's going to tell you, because that should at least be a good part of your model. At least a third of your model should be investor business long term, if not more. It's you'll see. So in any case, that's the 28th. Okay, you guys, ready to knock it off for the night? Enjoy yourselves and relax. And all right, good.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you.
again, Ryan.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome. Thanks too, Henry, for sharing. And thank all of you for doing what you're doing. You're doing great, man. Keep going. If you're on it and accelerate, keep setting up calls with me. Keep going. We're almost to the point where everybody is in sync. It's probably going to be to the end of April before we got everybody in sync. but I need to work with you one-on-one to make sure we're on task. And just keep swinging the bat. I'm telling you, keep making those phone calls. I was think about this. I'll leave you with this. Who here gets emails all day long? Every single one of us. How many of you look at emails and think to yourself, I'll get to that one later? Or you don't even read it, you just look at the caption. Yep. How many of you do that when you get a phone call? Yeah. Call people. I'm telling you, call people. It's way, way, way better than emailing them, even texting. Calling is number one. It all starts with the first phone call every day. So that's your assignment. When you wake up tomorrow, call somebody. I'll watch some of you will call me. No, you got to call clients, call customers, get a listing, get a sale. If you're going to call me, that's fine too. You can call me anytime you want. All right, guys. Listen, God bless you and all your loved ones, and I'll see you next week. Next week is also the monthly team call next Wednesday, second Wednesday of the month, in addition to Monday Night Live. And I'll see you on your one-on-ones.
Thank you for watching this episode of Monday Night Live. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and go to realestatewithgarywilson.com to join our community and start building wealth today.